allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My people make we shout, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego diary politico, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. This one not the off in mind, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My people make we shout, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. This one not they off in mind, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yeah. My egun don't come, oh yeah. My people make you shout, oh yeah. My egun don't come, oh yeah. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, oh yeah. My ego diary politico, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh
yeah. Hello. Yeah. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you, dear Templars, from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun Live. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Remember, after reading the caption of this broadcast, please read the description as well. Like it, share it, tag your friends and not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Mayegun today. There's been so many rogbodiyan going about.
Facebook.
And on this platform, as usual, we do our best to break everything down. Break it down enough for, a regular person, a layman, as they put it, to understand. And what you make of it after watching Mayegun is totally yours. One thing you will never be able to do again is to become or be selective, ignorant. You will not be able to say, I didn't know. So thank you so much again for joining me. Share this. What has been making the news since last night? It's been the holding the Nigerian Super Eagles to hostage, kind of, in Libya. What are you doing in Libya? How can Libya be part of Nations Cup qualifiers? Anyway, more today. So, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun, and this is live. For everybody watching it live, though. Last night, the players of the Nigerian Super Eagles raised an alarm that possibly woke or kept the entire continent awake. With some asking so many questions, rhetorical questions that they were not possibly expecting answers. Number one, I personally was a little bit surprised that Libya is participating in Nations Cup qualifier. Libya is a country destroyed by Obama's America. Just don't forget that. Obama's America destroyed Libya. Until today, Libya remained a country without a real government. So what that simply means is that you have some group of people who control a section of the country, while the vast majority of the country is being controlled by different rebels, gangs. And having them participate in the Nations Cup qualifiers is something I wasn't expecting. You have heard about Somalia. Somalia hasn't had a government as well for the past 30 years or so. I think 34 years. Somalia, like Libya, like Somalia anyway, or Somalia like Libya, I don't know. So what happened is that there is no central government in Libya, right? In Libya since the death of Gaddafi. So that Nigeria is seeded into a group of qualifiers where Libya is part of the team. It's the first shocker. But what really kind of surprised a lot of people was that they said the Nigerian Super Eagles that were subjected to something that was more or less like an hostage situation. So the story began when last week the supposed Libya national team came to Nigeria to play the first leg of their qualifiers. Now that first leg, for those of you who have been following, football, by the way, because I do on the side, if not because of this hostage part of it, we won't be having this conversation. But again, it is an eye-opener for so many of us who possibly didn't even know what's going on, okay? So last week, Libya arrived to Nigeria. And for those of you who have been following a sport or following this football of a thing, right? Because I do on the side. Nigeria has been playing their qualifying games, whether it is World Cup or Nations Cup qualifiers. They've been playing that in Akwa Ibom, a stadium in Uyo. That's the supposed Akwabiole Stadium in Uyo. So they said when they played Ghana, when they played, this other member of their group, okay, Benin Republic, Rwanda, Benin Republic and Rwanda, by the way, so they played them in Uyo. So therefore, all the opponent teams would always book their flight to arrive in Uyo, and they maybe just have a bit of a drive through to the city, where their hotel is pretty much like not really far from the stadium. But something happened. They said the Libyan team, rather than land in Uyo, they landed in Port Harcourt, River State. And then they had to travel from Port Harcourt to Uyo. And for those who know better, I don't think the whole journey between Port Harcourt to Uyo is more than 60 to 70 kilometers or something, right? But the Libyan national team posted different images showing that they were treated, abysmally. They were treated, with so much humiliation, according to them. Even though Nigerian Air said this is probably their own making. Now, from what I have gathered, they said they were expected to land in Uyo. However, they landed in Port Harcourt. They now switched up all communication, all effort to get in touch with them to try to see why, what happened, and all that became abortive until their embassy came through for them, organized a bus that took them from Port Harcourt to Uyo. But because of this image, they now vowed that when it is turn of Nigeria for second leg of the match, they were going to ensure that Nigeria suffered. And that's exactly what they did. But they did it in such an horrible, threatening way. So Nigerian FA denied that they were the one who diverted their flight to Uyo. Number one, Libya is not a threat to Nigeria's qualification, by the way. They are the bottom of the table, the qualifiers table, from what I gathered, right? Here, they were at the bottom. So they pose no threat to Nigeria, to the point that Nigeria will not actually subject them to anything that they are claiming, right? So the Libyan team the Libyan FA now promised that they are going to make Nigeria suffer. They actually put it on social media that when it is time for Nigeria to come, so Nigeria was supposed to arrive in Bengahzi. From the report, Nigeria was supposed to arrive in Bengahzi, where they would then, move to their hotel, get ready for the game, and then go and play the second leg. So the Libyan team now said what they would do. Libya, like I said, is a dangerous country. No thanks to Obama, Clinton. What's her name again? That woman, Hillary Clinton. You remember the Benghazi and all of that, right? And then what they did to Gaddafi. Okay, so since then, they've not had a government that controls the whole country. They themselves knows the part of the country where if you are found there, especially if you are black, you can be sold as slaves. So what they did is that instead of their plane to land in Benghazi, in fact, they are in Benghazi, they were supposed to land. Then an order came that they can't land. They should move them to a place called Abaq, a very far place from Benghazi. It's like about 600 or so kilometers away, to an abandoned airport. Abandoned in the sense that it's not like an international airport. So if you land in such part of the country, you are on your own. So what they did next was that once they landed, they now told all the hotels around the area that they must not admit the Nigerian team into their hotel. They now shut the airport. So that sort of led to some fisticuff, like wahala, argument, this or that. We are making a video. The whole world is going to see this. And But a lot of people were worried for them, especially those ones who are like international players playing for Nigeria, who returned back to go and play this qualifier for Nigeria. So such an high risk of a thing raised the tension. Like, what are these guys up to? Why would they even do this? what happened to them in Nigeria was not really intentional. Not that somebody was seeing them as a threat of anything, that they now decided to send them to a place. And even if that happened, there could be some level of administrative error. Why would you now intentionally put the lives of the players of a country like Nigeria in danger, in such danger? You didn't give a damn. So in case if you have been following this on social media anyway, right, you would have seen different reactions. As usual, Nigerians who are already tired of that country, some of them started backing Libya. Nigerians who are pissed off about the country, about Nigeria, right? Some of them didn't even like consider the lives of the individuals, the individual players, staff, the crew, coaching crew, and the rest of them involved. Like, why would anybody intentionally put their lives in danger? They put them in a place whereby rebels could actually drive into the hotel. No security, no nothing. They shut the place, right? And for 18 straight hours, right? They said at a point, they allowed the pilot, who is from this North Africa. They didn't say if it's from Libya, Morocco, or just not clear. So the pilot was allowed. They said the pilot could leave. So leave for where? The plane is grounded, by the way. The plane can't leave, but the pilot can leave. So they said the pilot now left with some people to go and look for hotels. I said, okay, maybe we can lodge them into hotels here until this is figured out, right? And they said, when they went out, they were told that there's actually an order. Nigerians who landed in the airport, right, must not be admitted into any hotel in that area. Why would anybody say that? Why would anybody do that? So everybody returned back to the airport. They now locked themselves there. Players, professional players, international players, they were sleeping rough on the floor and all that. And pictures started flying in until the captain of the team now raised the alarm and said, well, this doesn't seem like anything, good or safe. That there's no point in continuing the flight. They said, well, they will give them bus that will drive them from that Akbar or so airports. It's like driving from, I don't know how some of you will put it to. It's like driving from Lagos to maybe Sokoto. Do you get that now? Like you were supposed to land in Sokoto, 800 kilometers away. And they go and drop you somewhere in Ogun State. Ogun State is too near. Yeah, maybe Ogun State. Now bring you all these 18-seater bus. You see all those buses without with no air condition and all that. Yeah, to drive you from there, drive all of you, like about 30 of you, drive you straight to Sokoto by road, where you are going to drive through the enclave of all of the terrorists, all different gangs who are controlling different part of the country, and they could kidnap you and sell you off as slaves, right? Like, why would anyone even want to go to Libya to go and play football? That was my own question. But to the other Nigerians who were like, yeah, you did it to them. Nigeria is a useless country. I was like, guys, calm down. I know a lot of you are so pissed about that contraption. But sometimes, right, we should begin to see beyond. We should see beyond this just contraption and see the lives of individuals involved, though. Right? You can't hold them totally responsible for, the F-top of the country by the criminal politicians. So this is supposed to be like a national emergency, where other African countries were like, what's going to happen to them? What did they have in stock? Like, what else do they have a plan for this Nigerian team? Do they even have any respect for Nigeria that much? So somebody said that the government of Libya right now, they barely control maybe about 2 cities in the whole country. Tripoli and Benghazi. Every other place in Libya is a free-for-all. It's a fair game. If you find yourself in any other part of Libya, apart from Benghazi and Tripoli, it's a fair game. So why would anyone within their government or within their FA decided to actually put, like, do they not really give a damn about this Nigeria? Is that how the rest of Africa actually sees Nigeria? This is Nigeria national team, Abi? So many questions. I've got a video, including how it all started, midway, the boss they gave them, and then finally when they say, you know what, you can keep the 3 points, we're not playing. Even if, what do you call them, the AFCON guys, the guys who are in charge of the, African Cup of Nations, right? What do you call them again? So they came back and they said Nigeria should try and play the match. If Nigeria boycotts the match, then Nigeria will be sanctioned. They're like, well, you can keep your sanction. We're not risking our life anymore, any further. What they are keeping, they are probably having in stock for them at the hotel or even at the stadium. Nobody treated them that way when they came to Nigeria. Okay. And it was pretty much like a premeditated as well. When people felt, when it was like, you know what, who diverted their flight to Port-Harcourt? Even when their flight got diverted to Port-Harcourt, it was reported that the security was provided, and including the bus was provided, to drive them to Uyo. So why would anyone treat Nigeria this way? I'm coming. Here is the compilation of what we believe happened and how it went down, even to the point of when they returned back to Nigeria. So they forfeited the 3 points as we speak.
Shall I see my lady? I will never forget her. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Where shall I see my where shall I see my I will never forget her. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh.
That was them back in Nigeria. That's the last clip. So I had to put all of them together because like short clip. There was no real internet, no food, no water, and they were all pretty much like this overnight. 18 hours before they finally, decided to leave the place. 18 hours. This is how they were. Okay, overnight. Now, people are possibly looking forward to what the CAF, Confederation of African Football, they call them Abi, CAF is going to do. So this was how they spent their evening, even so apprehensive, like apprehensive. Like, what if anything happens? So when they finally got this morning, when they finally felt like, no, we're not playing, we're leaving. So it was now time for them to refuel their jets or their plane that would take them back, right? So from the report, they said they actually charged them ×5 what it costs per liter. I don't know if you use liter for the aviation fuel, right? Jet 1. ×5 of what it cost. It was like a deliberate denigration of that Nigeria. But to some, they were like, why would Libya do this to Nigeria? Nigeria don't become. What is the purpose of that giant of Africa? Here you get like something that will make you feel like, don't try that. Oh, want to try that with Nigeria. Others are saying, if you have been fed with a lot about slave trade, how the white people enslave Africans, and you probably need to also study how the Arabs, right, captured blacks as slaves until tomorrow. They do not consider, even though they are supposed to be fellow Africans, they do not really consider this skin color as that of a human being. So you might think people are taking it other than just football. No, this is more than just football now. Yeah, and it is okay if people take it a little bit further. Libya, as we speak, is the only country in Africa where the supposed Arab Africans, they are capturing their fellow blacks, putting them inside cage in this 2024, and they are selling them as slaves. I'm talking about people are being like paraded as, we want to sell you. If they grab me like this, no matter who I be, who you be. For Libya, they will check and see how much I am worth, maybe $500. If you are strong and you're physical, you're probably going to be sold for $1,000. Like they are selling human beings. They are capturing people. You see those people who are like crossing the desert because they are going to Europe. Many of them have ended up in the captivity, in prisons of all these Arab slavers in this 2024. So why would CAF allow Libya to participate in AFCON in the first place? How? Why? Because when you allow them that way, that means people will have to go to that country to play the qualifiers, Abi. Others are saying that even if they are to be allowed, no single international match should ever be held in that place. Yeah, probably you take it to Algeria. Somebody said that. I think it was David Unde that was like, it should, if they are to be allowed at all to participate in AFCON, they were not supposed to be hosting any country in that country. Then Nigeria, almost you needed to see the drama that followed before Nigeria finally, the Nigerian government finally kind of like, normal in that situation, even though Nigeria don't get level anymore, because that's what this is all about now. It is more or less like Nigeria does not have any level in Africa per se. And it is not now though. Maybe it's just worse now. I have known this for a while that, there are so many African countries that do not rate Nigeria or Nigerians. When I say do not rate you, I'm talking about if they have a chance, right? They will infringe on that your rights, that your supposed human rights, whatever it is, that you will begin to ask yourself, are we not fellow Africans? Are we not supposed to be Africans, fellow Africans? There is no regard, no respect. So what is that advantage of being from Nigeria again? Can somebody tell me in Africa? So if I go anywhere and say I am a Nigerian with that green passport, nobody gives a shit about me per se. In fact, some of them probably would be a little bit cautious and careful. I know some of you will say, hey, some Nigerians that are, you shut up your mouth. It's not just you. It is because they failed the criminals in charge of that country who have failed the country. They've now made, instead of Nigeria to be a bit of like the America of Africa, now we have become like the refugees of Africa, where a lot of African countries probably sees us as a burden, where a lot of us just want to run away from that contraption, run away from it. Such a way we have no respect anywhere. No real respect anywhere. Nigeria used to be so respected, though. I have to tell you this. So Nigeria used to be the big brother in Africa. Volunteering soldiers to trouble the part of Africa, troubled countries in Africa. You will see Nigerian soldiers stay here and there, loading cash money into aircraft to bail out some of these African countries in time of trouble. So where did Nigeria get it so wrong? Enough that nobody gives a piece of anything about us anymore. I'll leave you to that. Our own Sowore, it was in Ghana. You remember, I think it was 2 days ago. No, sorry, about 3 days ago now, when Sowore was being harassed. Was being harassed by the Nigeria immigration, because they said his name was on their watch list. You see, Nigeria is now being run by criminals who a lot of us have figured out now that they are the compromised, compromised assets of the Western world, especially America. America opened their eyes enough that they backed a drug dealer, heroin trafficker that they have so much on, to become the president of Nigeria, no sanction, no nothing. And today, right, the criminals in charge of Nigeria who have now concluded their state capture of that contraption, they are now criminalizing the the movement of supposed citizens of the country who they considered as threats. Put it that way. So Sowore was in Accra when he left Nigeria. So you remember this Galamsey, I think it's called Galamsey protest. I shared something on that about 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, the Ghanaians who are protesting the illegal mining that has destroyed their water, their water bed, destroyed their streams, that people can't, some part of Ghana do not have access to any clean, drinkable water anymore because of these illegal mining activities across Ghana. We are almost everywhere is now turned to drilling and drilling for gold. Remember that story? Now, those people who protested that their government should do something, they said that most of this gold or these gold mines in Ghana, they are owned by
American companies. You know what they do? Once they take all that gold, they move them straight to Dubai, refine them from Dubai, so that they will now find their way to the Western jewelers and jewelry shops. So it will just be like a Dubai gold. But they are gold from what? Ghana, Congo, this Congo DR, where people have been enslaved. It's pretty much like a blood money or blood, gold, right? So people who complained, protested, have been hauled into prison. And according to Ghanaians themselves, right, the reason why their government is more harder on the people complaining than going after the illegal mining. It's illegal mining in the sense that the practices, the practice of mining the gold, right, put the environment in serious ruin, which the effect is already being felt by everyone. So rather than the government of Ghana, right, to protect their people, they started jailing them. Their courts are putting protesters in prison. Long prison stay, Some of them were denied legal representation. Now the truth is that they said their president, Akufo-Addo, and his family, right? They are getting a real big cut from all of this, where millions of dollars are flowing into their own private account too. So it's like Nigeria, like Ghana. That's what it is. It's just so unfortunate that the effect of what they are doing in Ghana is so enormous that the entire environment in this part of Ghana, right, is so massive. But the government is not listening to them. No. So when Sowore left Nigeria 3 days ago, thereabouts, it was not living for Ghana. Living for the US. It was actually living for Ghana. So one of them, whose video really sort of made it to the internet and it went really viral at the time, is this guy. So Sowore went. On his way, he was harassed. On his way back, he was also harassed. But he met with him anyway in Accra.
We wish we could just shake hands with you, man. I'm proud of you, bro. All right. So we'll see you and just know we're together in this. Oh. Thank you. I hope the condition is not too bad. And you're getting enough food. But you need freedom, man. Freedom is here. Yeah, that's very important. Cool boy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, we run the end bad governance fight in Nigeria. Well, it will soon spread all over Africa. Yeah, and Ghana will not be an exception. Yes, we're going back today because I came to do long distance running. So I run in Uganda. We have a Ghana marathon yesterday. Just a small one, 5 kilos. So after that, I just told them I'd like to see you guys. All right. No problem. Thank you. At this point, we have to create a new generation of allegations are thank you so much. Allegations yes. It can't finish. Oppression, as long as there's oppression, there must be resistance. Thank you, bro. I said you can visit that side.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Officer.
Thank you.
Take care of you, very nice.
it is called fraternizing with fellow comrades that are facing the level, the kind of injustice in the hands of criminal leaders in Africa. It's crazy, right? So, and kudos to Sowore for that, like Sowore will always show up anyway. Yeah, I feel like I should go to Nigeria now so that, I can join and be like, Aluta, Continua, Victoria, Tata. I hope I'm not giving some of you HBP there. What did he just say? Yeah, I just feel like buying a ticket and go inside Nigeria and be like, no joke, I mean it. But yeah, well done, Sowore. And then on his way back, as usual, this also happened.
She is with me now.
Thank you, sir. Of course. Thank you for what you're doing. Yeah. That's why you met me there. You see how many are watching. But tonight I'm not going to give you guys a hard time, but you better remove it before I come back next time. Otherwise, everywhere will catch hell.
Soon.
Bye-bye.
Well, sorry, sir. Well,
Because why do they keep saying his name is on a watch list? Like, why is his name on the watch list of Nigeria? Because Tinubu's government would rather keep a lot of people like that under watch and embarrass them, in and out, while the real criminals, the real rogues, the real criminals responsible for what Nigerians are facing are just moving in and out of the contraption whenever they want. Name on the watch list. I need somebody to help me check if my name is on the watch list of Nigeria too. Yeah. I know I probably do not have any business on that list because I've not got any real influence anywhere. So somebody like me is not a threat per se, like this one is just a social media, noise maker. Because I can call you out and say, everybody, tomorrow we are shutting down. Where should we shut down again? Like we are shutting down so place. Shut up, man. Because I never presented myself as a leader of any group or of anybody per se. So I don't think my name will be on their watch list. Let me watch a list. Still put it. Yesterday in Benin City, not Benin City, in Etsako, north area of Edo State, the younger people of a community called Agana Bode. Do I pronounce that right? By the way, is that right? Agana Bode or Agana Bode. That's from Etsako, north local government area of Edo State. Something happened. A young man was kidnapped by Fulani terrorists. They demanded for ransom. So the families and friends, they rally around to get the ransom, and they paid the ransom to his kidnappers. Only for his kidnappers to still go ahead and they killed him and dumped his body. But they kept his phone. So they reported to the police. Police couldn't do anything. But the youth didn't give up. Again, God bless you. That's the pronunciation, right? Thank you. So the youth, right, didn't give up. So they kind of went ahead to keep tracking his mobile phone until they tracked it to a particular location, which happened to be the Hausa community. It's like the Sabo area
of that Aganabode community. Their effort yielded result that they found the phone, and they found it with one Fulani guy. Immediately, they swung into action, grabbed these people, this person, and they handed him over to the police. Only for them to hear later that the police have released him. How? Why would they do that? So the youth went back in protest, like, is it true that you released this person? How dare you? Yeah. The next thing, the police just brought out their guns. As usual. And they killed another person there. One person got killed. That triggered the further anger that led to the full attack on the police station. They burned down the entire police station as reported. So I've taken out the fire because something they caused them sort of a panic here on YouTube. So I've kept that out. But here is an eyewitness account.
Finally, this is the area of the boy. That is the house of the boy where he built his house. And the Hausa men are living here. This other building here. Finally, the Aganebode youth has gone to the police station, and they got to the police station and, burnt the police station down, bring out the boy. After bringing down the boy has to take us to the place where the other Aganebode boy is being buried. Now the Aganebode boy, we find him buried in this house. Not only him, there are other girls. There's a girl that has ribbon on her hair, buried too. They buried about 5 people. They've kidnapped 5 people that killed them. They collect their part of their body. They buried them here. So that is where we are now. And Aganebode people are ready to burn the outside boy down. They've killed 3 already in the police station. The police people ran away. Police people have run away now. We find the place that they buried the boy. We are here. They buried the boy in this place. Here, this place you are seeing people are breaking that. That is where the police, this thing stayed, the Hausa boys. Odufa giving this report. Odufa Dupes giving this report now. So we finally got what we want. We've killed 3 Hausa men already from the police station. And the other one that killed the boy brought us to this place where they buried the boy. And the other girls that was being buried along with the boy too. And they said they have killed 5 people so far since they came to Aganebode. So thank God we got what we want.
So let me rephrase. The community said, if you are from Edo State, there is the northern part of Edo State, so to say, where the problem of kidnapping for ransom, and maybe kidnapping for organ harvesting and all of that seems to be very rampant. People are being killed and their body will be dumped here and there. So when this young man that got kidnapped, right, is news got out there, okay, ransom paid, and then he got killed until they tracked his phone and they tracked it to that place, arrested one of them, only for the police to have, they said they have released them. But in the process, like that reporter said, okay, what they did was that the one that, they ended up having to kill 3, but not until when they found out that the young man they killed, collected ransom, was still killed, wasn't the only person. There were 4 others, including a lady, right? So one of them led the mob to the location where they buried the bodies, okay? And according to the youth, they had to take the law into their own hands, where the police won't do their own job. So they killed 3 of the alleged kidnappers, okay? And according to him, they got what they wanted, which is to them justice. And the justice was that they had an abode where kidnappers have been living with them. According to him, he called them the Hausa boys and all that. But there's another video there that was like, no, They were actually like a Fulanis too. Kidnapping for ransom, but not that they had a plan of letting their victims go. 5 bodies were dug out. Who are those who have been missing from the community? I mean, how do they actually really do that? Eh? What the heck is really going on? There used to be, when I was growing up in Ijebu, we had Hausa communities where we call it Sabo. Then we have some of them who actually live with us. You know, where all of us live. It's not like they have their own separate place. They have their businesses. Some of them work as farm help or farm hands. We call them the laborers. You can go in there and hire them if you need to dig anything, the soak away, you want to dig a well. There are places you go to, they are there. Some of them are like traders. I remember Ali. There was a guy called Ali. There's another one called Aruno. There's another one called Awalu. I can't remember all the names, okay? The ones who is selling suya to all of us, right? The other one selling the normal provisions, we call it provisions, okay? The corner shop. There's nothing you wanted from that shop that you won't get from Aruno's shop. So, as that changed, like, as things got so bad that it is more convenient now. And back then, we never really care whether you are Fulani or Hausa or Kanuri or nobody really cares, right? But these days, it's like people move to communities, mask their intention, then resorting to kidnapping the people from the community in a way that even the policemen are like, either they are like a culpable in collusion, or they just do not have the capacity to keep the people safe by detecting crime as it should be. Kidnapping within community, like you saw the house, this is where they were living. Look at the house of the person they kidnapped. It's like kidnapping somebody who is your neighbor. They demanded for ransom, then killed him, then buried him. And others. What is going on? Is that the new reality in Nigeria now? Or this is just one-off? 6 years ago when I went for my mom's burial, I have never been so afraid in my own hometown like I was that night. So it was around 2 a.m. So we had a lot of people who came for the burial as well, like people who came home. And I had to put them in different places, it wasn't like hotels, because Sodobolu now, that was my hometown. You know what I mean? So people had, like, as they say, we are almost like, all of us are like families. So, and friends. So I had people stayed in my past family house. So I was like checking on them in the middle of the night, going there from here to there. Then we were at a place and I just sat there chilling in the house. We were talking. Then I started hearing. Then we came to the balcony. And there they were. Almost 1,000 cows. Right? Like herd of cows, right? They were all trekking on that street in the middle. I mean, it's not even the middle of the night, it's like at 2 a.m. I was like, what is this? And the person who lived in that place said, well, that's what we deal with here. There's nothing we can do. Because nobody wants their trouble. Nobody wants their wahala. Because if you try anything now, they may come back, they may start killing people. It's like, so, at least we are hearing the news of other places that people have tried to chase them away. I was like, what? So if this guy just started to kind of, in the middle of this night, decided to just unleash their horror on everybody here. Like, me, I've been covering their story anyway. So I was like, so this is how it is done. If they are not bringing cows, if they're just bringing like 300, 400 of them in this wee hour, no lights, everywhere is so dark, and they have all their guns and machetes, they can just, like, free of charge like that, they can start killing people if they want to. So this is how it happens. Like, what the heck, man? But 6 years after that, now you have a situation where people move to a community, not because they want to contribute to their community anymore. Okay. I'll leave it at that, and then let's go to something else. Boy, it's that scary. That is scary. And I hope, right, the, what do you call it, the youth who have taken it upon themselves to keep their community safe are not going to be haunted by the same government of, you know, not just Edo. Now that they have APC, Ebekebe, that is about to take over Edo State. I hope they will protect the Etsako people, especially the Agenabode youth. But you know, Nigeria, it could be, you know, it could be the reign of terror that is not going to chase out the terrorist, but will actually be a reign of terror on the community, supervised by their supposed leaders. You know, who will say, well, now you Kosam, why did you go on? You know, so to those ones that they have not burnt or killed, I hope they manage to kind of get them and take them, hold them up, you know, for their crimes too. I mean, if you kidnap people, this is not a pass, okay? If you kidnap people and you collect ransom, why do you have to kill them? For a cover-up, right? The heart of man is evil. And I really can't really explain it or understand, rather, I can't really understand it. So today, it is what Nigeria has become, you will say. Well, let's leave that. And then take on this. The man who was appointed as GMD of NNPC, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, who changed the whole thing and said it is now a private company. He's saying something about subsidy. Especially they're supposed to not only arrested, they're supposed to like chain him, right? Chain him until he confesses those who he has been working with in milking you. Then after that, just give him a little injection, as they call it, with what they have done to Nigeria. They mortgage Nigeria's resources, change the whole thing, change the papers, and put themselves at the center of it, the beneficiary. But they have a repeated story they usually tell Nigerians. The reason why subsidy has to go is because some people are taking the oil to resell it at the neighboring country. Old lies. This guy is repeating it in 2024. Listen.
Last 40-something years, you know, PMS has always been subsidized. And subsidy is creating arbitrage. That means there's a difference between price in one location lower than what it should be from with another location. The evacuation from the table averaged 51 in recent times. And when Mr. President announced the removal of subsidy in June, what it did is calibrated price. It came to market. There's no longer any value in anyone taking the product across the border. If you do, you're not going to make those profits that you do. I'll give you an example. If the delta is significant, like if you are selling twice the price across in a 6,000 liter truck, you can actually gain up to 70 million naira from just one truck. So how are you going to stop someone who can just with 2 trips across the border will make 17 times 2, which is the price of the truck itself? So if you don't arrest it, then it's over. He has made his money. Versus when you take a truck legally, what's the cost of a truck now? Maybe 60,000. You take it to maybe 8 million naira, for instance, to Maiduguri. The legitimate value you have is less than 500,000 naira. So why would I see 70 million naira and then take all the trouble, go to Maiduguri, keep it in the fuel station for 1 month, and just make 300,000 to 400,000 naira? The challenge you have in all these countries, you have taxation on PMS. We don't have tax here. So many of these countries, actually government revenue is dependent on the taxes that's coming on PMS. So you will see that until you balance for that, recover your market cost and add taxation on it, there is no way you will ever get to a situation where there is some kind of market parity between us and our neighbors. But you will not be losing money as long as you are not in a subsidy. Last 40-something years, PMS has...
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Honestly speaking, this is the lie, okay, that they have cooked repeatedly, and they have been repeating it to make it sound like it's the truth. But let me see if I can possibly explain some things to us, to those who have heard that lies many times. I have heard it too. I mean, I almost believed it until I figured out that it's not making any sense. Here it is. They make you believe, or they made you believe that importation of petroleum to Nigeria is done by some people that used to be. In fact, to make you understand this subsidy scam and lies, that's why I said these people deserve death sentence, not life imprisonment, death sentence, because they are economic saboteurs, sabotaging the economy of that Nigeria from time immemorial. But this time, it is the worst type of saboteurs that you have in Nigeria, with straight face, criminals. Before these guys came in, Goodluck Ebere Jonathan's government, right? They were able to keep the Nigeria refineries working at over 50% capacity. Listen, Nigeria refineries could actually really refine more than 25 million liters of petroleum every day. Port Harcourt refinery was working. I don't think some of you probably remember that anymore. To you, they never worked, Abby. They were working. Warri refinery was working. But the thing was that not at the full capacity. And that was why they needed extra importation. Then, let's say Nigeria was consuming maybe 25 to 30 million liters of petroleum every day. Right? Then, the Goodluck Ebere Jonathan's government realized that they were inflating the figure of how much liters the Nigerians were consuming. Who were those? The guys in the DPRA or DPR or whatever they call themselves, in the NNPC guys. Oh, they had independent marketers, the people that will bring in petroleum products to supplement what Nigeria was refining. So that was like saying they had to inflate the figure. Okay, inflating the figure means Nigeria needs 60 million liters, even though the total liters of petroleum Nigerians need almost daily is probably around 30 million, 35 million. I mean, if you fill your tank, this was like a practicable analysis now, okay? If I fill my tank today, I'm not going to fill it tomorrow, except I'm a transportation company, right? And with the statistics available then, almost half of the supposed people buying the fuel, half of them don't need to refill every day. So therefore, it was put at averagely, the consumption of petroleum in Nigeria was put at between 23 and 25 million. But the criminals in NNPC who have figured out that they needed to kind of like, supplement what they have in order not to put the entire country into like no fuel. So they created a rule where some people were given licenses to import fuel into Nigeria. So the corruption therein was, I got a license, you have a license, and this person have a license to bring in petroleum to Nigeria. So normally, if I say I am bringing 100 million liters, and you are bringing 200 million liters, at least you are not bringing it every day. That may be your whole month batch that will batch in Lagos. Then you can now say, this is my own petrol that I'm bringing to Nigeria, that I just brought to. The landing cost is 120 naira. And then the government will be like, hey, we can't let you go and sell it for 130 naira or 140 naira. Nigerians will kill us. We are going to buy it from you. Okay? As NNPC, they will say, you know what? We want you to sell it. Is your crude, is your oil, now you bring them over. Hey, we want you to sell it for 87 naira per liter. We'll pay you the difference. That just opened the door for the corruption cost subsidy that Jonathan discovered. The moment they started that, what these criminals were now doing was, you know, saying at them demo. One of them is the governor of Ogun State today. Okay? Dubious Dapo of Ogun State. So what they would do is that they would just come in partnership with the NNPC criminals. They would now say, my own, I have brought in 200 million liters. NNPC won't check it. They say, okay, 200 million. Okay. What is the difference? Well, you have to pay me 85 billion naira before I can now, because if you don't want me to go and sell it for 150 naira per liter, you need to pay me 85 billion naira so that I can go and sell it at my own filling stations. NNPC is not taking it from them. Like NNPC was supposed to take it from them. Like that is like say, we'll buy it from you. No, the RNG then was I will pay you the difference so that you can go and sell it to Nigerians at the price we have told people to be buying, 87 naira. That was the window of that corruption of subsidy that you are hearing. So when Jonathan has realized that within a year, between 2010 and 2011, I'm sorry, between 2011 and 2012, Nigeria is now spending almost 200 billion naira subsidizing the product brought in by marketers. Because this is not sustainable. It can't be like Nigeria no they produce, Nigeria no they refine his own crude oil at all. This is not sustainable. No, we can't do this. So we need to remove the subsidy. If you want to sell it for 150 naira, go and sell it. We are not, you know. Because they now discovered that after they pay them that difference, remember they've inflated the figure. It's not the actual figure. NNPC did not show interest that we want to see the fuel. Let's see it. Let's see. Let's measure it. How many liters? Did you say 200 million? Let's see the 200 million liters. Did you say 150 million liters? Well, let's see the 150 million. No, it was all corruption. Here you get. They will just write they will raise the invoice, raise the money, raise the invoice. So these guys were like, even though they didn't bring 200 million liters, that same ship that brought the fuel, it will just turn from a papa all the way to Cameroon. Cameroon know the subsidized fuel. Ghana know the subsidized fuel. It's only Nigeria. And since the deal is between them and the NNPC, they just move to Ghana, move to Benin, move to Cameroon to go and offload it there and sell it at whatever price it is there. That was why Jonathan said, no, we have to remove subsidy. We are not paying subsidy to anybody anymore. And you know what happened now? Ojota protest. Nationwide protest. Occupy Nigeria. Remember, 2012. Meanwhile, when Jonathan removed that subsidy, it was like, before they removed the subsidy, they actually plotted that, you know what? If these guys, these marketers are going to hold us hostage, it's going to be from the transportation system, right? Now we need to supply as many buses, mass transit, to as many states as possible. In fact, we will give the money to some of these states, right, to cushion the effect. I wasn't so young then, 2012. Unfortunately, when those buses got down to Ogun State, over 40 mass transit buses were given to Ogun State before Jonathan announced that subsidy removal. Guess what? Irokmuli Omamoshi was the governor of Ogun State then. They locked the entire buses down there at the parade ground, Okemoso, Abeokuta. They did not supply the buses to the local government. They were supposed to put two of those buses. Ogun State has 20 local government areas. Two buses were supposed to be from the state capital. Two buses were supposed to be supplied to 20 local government areas to ease whatever it was going to be the cost of transportation then. But it was ACN and Jonathan was PDP. So they locked the buses up. They started the campaign. Jonathan wanted to kill everybody. Not only that, Jonathan now started probing the subsidy payment that they paid in the last 1 year. Dubious Dako was supposed to go to jail. But because of that protest and the reversal, Dubious Dako is a governor in Ogun State today. And Ogun State people don't see him, Abi? Now they feel him now. You know they feel him. So the campaign then that Jonathan want to kill everybody. Jonathan this, Jonathan that. Yeah. And all of that. That was the last time they gave license to people. They gave license to individuals to bring fuel to Nigeria. But in 2024, 12 years after that, this Olori Bruku is talking about people diverting fuel to another country, which is not true. Since Bokwari came on as your president, you know what they did? NNPC became the sole importer. Then, it is no longer individuals anymore. It is now NNPC that is now bringing fuel. But they are still selling the old lies to people, making it look like there are some marketers. So the marketers in Nigeria now have to go to NNPC, right? To now buy whatever the regulated, subsidized, whatever it is. So NNPC is using Nigeria money to import fuel. NNPC is now paying subsidy to Ghost. You don't know who they are paying it. Back in Jonathan's time, they knew who were collecting the subsidy. Now, you don't know who is collecting it until recently, when it became obvious that Tinubu is paying the subsidy to himself. So NNPC was using Nigeria money to bring in fuel, adulterated fuel, reselling it to marketers in Nigeria, determining how much they will sell, and announcing to Nigerians that they are paying subsidy because it costs, listen, you use Nigeria money to import fuel. Now you are telling Nigerians that the landing cost is 1,000 something, and you are paying subsidy on it. So under Bokwari, they started paying over 428 billion naira every month. That was far more than what Jonathan was paying in a whole year. Go and check the record. Jonathan's government was paying between 150 billion and 300 billion naira on subsidy a year. That is less than 25 billion, or about $25 billion, billion naira every month. Now, these criminals came and they started paying over 420 billion naira on subsidy, but you kept paying more for the fuel. Who are you paying the subsidy to? To themselves. They won't give you a name. No, they won't. So when Tinubu came and said subsidy was gone, he was saying those people collecting it that time, they are gone. It's now his own turn. Emilio Con. And that is why you see the person collecting the subsidy today is Ohando Wale Tinubu on behalf of Tinubu. From there, this mixing or whatever it is called from Malta today. And then they change NNPC to NNPCL, a private company where people get shares. We don't know those who get the shares. We don't know who they collect the money. Right now, they are robbing Nigerians so much that this Olori Puruku went on TV and said, when Mr. President removed subsidy, it is because some people are diverting petrol to Cameroon. They are diverting. What the heck? Huh? And then you see the educated ones, they are helping them to spread the same lie. Who are those diverting petrol? Here NNPC don't divert petrol, lost Cameroon. I be the oil marketer that buy fuel from NNPC. They are the ones loading the tanker, moving it to Cameroon. I mean, I buy from you. I can sell wherever I want. Abi? Anyway, remember when Adisirika came and decided to scam the whole country? And I remember when some of them were like, may Nigeria succeed? May Bokuwari succeed? And that is why when you look at those who are telling you today that Tinubu inherited a bad country, you would think it was APP that handed over to APC, or PDP handed over to Tinubu APC. It was Bokuwari APC that handed over to Tinubu APC. The same people who told you then that Bokuwari was building Nigeria, give him time. There are those who have now metamorphosed to the Ronukus today, and they are the one telling you that Tinubu inherited a collapsed country. From who? Nigeria here. Man, God bless Bokuwari. Bokuwari is bringing Nigeria. I can't wait to fly in Nigeria here. I can't wait. I said, hang on. If you are going to start a airline, a national carrier, there are some certain things we should be seeing. For example, we should be seeing them probably doing some recruitment, training of staff, training of their pilots, recruitment of pilots and training and stuff like that. We should be able to have your website that will tell us about your company, your office. We should be able to send in inquiries, ask questions. None of this was there. Other than may Bokuwari succeed. All of you enemy of Nigeria. If they start Nigeria here, make you no fly am. Me, I can't wait to fly Nigeria here. These Olori Burukus were gaslighting us. I say it was all fraud. 2 days ago, fraudster Soto Bokeyamo, who also happened to be a minister under Bokuwari. He was a minister under Bokuwari that destroyed Nigeria. They did it together. He is also a minister now under Tinubu. And he's just telling us that, you know, it wasn't that, it's not just that the Nigeria here was a scam. It was actually a crime against Nigeria, a big crime against Nigeria. That's if you actually know what Adisirika signed. I'll let him say it himself. Listen.
Okay. Propose an outline. This is for the first time I'm showing Nigerians this. This is the master agreement I have here. Right here. Right here. Look at it. This agreement. Right here. You'll be shocked if you read this document. After some time, I'll make it public. I'm not hiding from it. This is it here. Clause by clause. I don't need a lawyer to read it for me. 33 years of active practice of law tells me what to say. This is the agreement. This is the Ethiopian Air agreement here. And you'll be shocked if you look at this agreement. What it simply says is that a foreign government should come and take over our national carrier. That is the long and short of the story. Because Ethiopian Air was the single major shareholder in that deal, Ethiopian Air. Ethiopian Air is owned by another government in Africa. It's the same thing they have done to Togo. Togo is a small country. They have done it with Askai. Askai, you know that Askai you're saying is owned by Ethiopian Air. We cannot be Togo. I apologize to whoever I'm talking for any Togo, but we cannot be Togo. We are big. We are big. We are ambitious. We cannot give up our entire ecosystem, aviation ecosystem, to another entity. Because what would have happened in that case is that the Ethiopian government would now be in complete beneficiary of all our BASA routes. Because a national carrier has first, and priority choice over all our routes. All the BASA routes we have negotiated all over the world. So they come and will give them all those routes we have suffered to negotiate. Where will all those profits go? Where? It's not Nigeria. So like I said, I've said it in another forum where I saw the facilitator of that deal, one American man, he has been crying from one TV station to the other, one blog to the other, saying that we lost foreign direct investment. We did not lose any foreign direct investment. There was no investment. The investment they were going to bring their SS fleet or their list. They were going to list planes on ACMIs, on wet lease, bring it here to fly our flag as national carriers. That's all they were going to do, and all the profit goes to Addis Ababa. And then who controls Nigerian Air? Who? CEO, Ethiopian. Financial officer, Ethiopian. Director of operation of Ethiopian. All the key positions reserved for foreigners. Is that Nigerian Air? Is that a national carrier? I ask. It's not. It's not. But don't forget that apart from the government suspending it to look at it again, before we even look, the court came down and said the court has declared it illegal. So it's not we now, it's not government. What should not even blame? It's judiciary. Go and argue with the judiciary. Go and argue with the judiciary that says it's illegal. So we saw the future. We knew where the case was going. Right? So that is the. And then guess what? I've said so many things about this. There are many. But like I said, I have the full document here. All of the people, they said all of the people coming from Addis Ababa to run it, they said they were not paying one tax to the Nigerian government. It's here, clause 6.
Really?
Clause 6, that they will not pay one single tax to the Nigerian government. How about it? Clause 6 here. All tax exemptions for all those coming, including payee. Not only make capital tax or against that, payee tax. They should not have. They even say if the law changes, payee, they will not pay. Yeah. So what is the investment now? What are you bringing there? They are not going to build any infrastructure, no commitment, full commitment to build a hub so we can even employ Nigerians. No commitment to that regard. And then guess what? After all this has happened, there's a clause that now says Nigeria will still guarantee any loss that they lost. Nigeria will now be the guarantor to any loss they suffer. Despite our meager 5% that we have, Nigeria deserved only 5% that day. But that 5%, they say we should be the guarantor to any loss. So if they incur any debt, they suffer any loss, they get into a contract and there is a breach of contract, there are billions of dollars are awarded against Nigeria, and who will pay? Nigeria, not Ethiopian Air. We are guarantors. No.
Somebody signed that as aviation minister of Nigeria, Addis Sirika, under Buhari. Those are the lovers of Nigeria, people that love Nigeria. They will tell you, we are working hard to make this country great. All of you are tarnishing the image of the country. People like us are called enemies because exposing them means that we don't love Nigeria. They love Nigeria. You are right. Director Scott, you know that his own Yansh is actually outside already, even before he will leave office. Frosto Sotobokeyamo. Have you forgotten? Now that guy promised 1,000 jobs for the youth when he was a minister of work, minister of labor. I bet you back 774 local government areas, 1,000 youths, 774,000 jobs. Now don't forget, where are the jobs today? It was the guy who gave them wheelbarrows, cutlass, and pom-pom, that they will be paying some youths 25,000 naira every month under Buhari to create 774,000 jobs. Don't tell me you have forgotten that. You know me, I know they forget. So he's running the show as aviation minister now under Tinubu. So you think there is no scam going on too? No. Yeah, I mean, it's just that this one that you just exposed, that is the one I want us to pay attention to. That somebody signed off that kind of deal. And then they were deceiving Nigerians that we are praying for them. That Nigeria here, Nigeria here. And we said it's all scam. It's a scam. Maybe because we're just too blunt and too honest. Eh? And they believe that we just don't wish Nigeria well. These people don't wish Nigeria well. There are many deals like that. Oh. I mean, you are hearing this court of arbitration in the UK. Eh? They're making judgment or declaring different judgment that they are putting Nigeria in debt. Who are those who signed them? Who are those who are signing those? They are the political appointees of different governments in that contraption. The supposed lovers of Nigeria. And this Erika is walking about right now. He's probably a leader in his own community in Kebbi. I think he's from Kebbi. The place he built himself Emirates like that. Yeah, he built himself this palace estates. The minister. People that are supposed to actually be standing trial and their conviction should be death sentence. Death sentence. You know? But rather, they are walking free as we speak. APC to APC. APC to APC. See what they've done to Nigeria. Eh? A school submitted a budget of 368 million naira. That's what we need. Though. The House of Assembly approved 42 billion naira. They padded it. 42 billion naira. Do you see the difference? That's like 41.632 billion naira extra. Money that will just go straight into the pocket of other people. Over projects that doesn't exist. This was supposed to be a school. Eh? Federal College of Horticulture. Radinkowa in Gombe State. They wrote their budget and submitted it to. It was 368 million. By the time the National Assembly will pass the budget, they passed 42 billion. 42 billion. So that this school can go and install solar street lights in federal constituencies in Osun, Edo, Bauchi, Nasarawa, Osun, Oyo, Lagos, and Kogi State. Construction of block of classroom, solar street lighting, boreholes, and provision and installation of transformers in federal constituencies. Supply and installation of solar-powered boreholes in federal constituencies in Kebbi, Oyo, Katsina, Benue, Akwa Ibom, Edo. School where they Gombe. So if I tell you the enemy, if I show you the enemies of Nigeria, I also do tell you their names and I show you their faces too. But somehow, you think, say, now we know wish Nigeria well. Nigeria is not destined to be great or to be well. If not, these rogues will be in jail, awaiting the hangman's news. But they are there in the Agbada, you know, moving about like that. We are the leaders. And that's why the people that are supposed to be under the watch list, they are the ones putting other people in a watch list. You just want to destroy this country. You just these people. You want to really? It's sad. I wish this works though, by the way. I saw a group of elders somewhere in Ikwere or so in River State. They said they are invoking the spirit of this and that to go after those who were burning down the properties of the government. They are talking about the Wiriwike's supporters. And I was like, does this work? I really wish it works. I don't think so. Here,
Yeah.
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. I mean, I don't understand Igbo like proper. I'm almost like totally novice except the greetings in Igbo. I know that if not for the identity crisis, which the Nigeria genocidal war caused, those people are Igbos. But hey, they will fight you and say, no, we are not Igbos and all that. But generally, your parents, they are Igbos.
okay? And nobody really needs to kind of like force it on you. I say, we know why a lot of you are fighting what is called the identity crisis. All right? But yeah, I hope they have the same spirit to invoke, to go after the rogues that have made life hell for you in that contraption. Talking about the Igbos, do you know that they had, I don't know if this is a recent video, but it is very significant, where, they had what is called a mock referendum for Biafra by the Igbos, for the Igbos who resides in Lagos. Have you seen this? So I got there, I was like, oh, that's impressive.
Yes, it is ongoing, it is happening live. Biafrans are ready to go. Biafrans are ready to go. The referendum is going on. Everyone is eager to participate in it. Just a short notice in this very house, the whole neighborhood has converged with interest for this election. Biafrans are voting here in Lagos. How many minutes? I don't want to use different phone. I said it earlier on that only one phone. Don't use too many phones. Use off your own. Yes, the video go. Wow. Okay. A very massive anaconda line of Biafrans only to participate in the Biafra self-referendum physical voting.
See, I do understand that some of you have allowed yourselves, okay, to have been pitted against yourselves. And I won't probably be part of that. All right. There is something I meant about a mock referendum. When I say a mock referendum, it simply means that if people were allowed, right, to actually participate in what is called a referendum, it doesn't matter where, there are those that will stand up, right, and choose, not Nigeria. But since some of you want to turn me into your Simon Ekpa versus the others, okay, so I'm just going to stop the video. That's not the intention. I knew that it was actually the Simon Ekpa group, as you would say it. But when did you become so divided about your Biafra, so to say? To the point that, I've said that before. On social media, you have turned yourself into me versus you versus me. And there's so many horrible, horrible, horrible things that you are saying to yourselves. And that is why that first person that said, oh, you are promoting Simon Ekpa today, I was like, no, you don't belong here. Get the hell out of here. Because it's always about you versus you, we versus you. And that never used to be the same sort of a Biafra agitation that I got to know years back. You've made a mess of it, some of you. And it's now about a competition, rivalry. And whoever is not in this camp is the enemy of that camp, is this, is about that, and all that. So, can get the hell out of here. So, there's no point in showing you the rest of it. Now, let's leave that and go to something else. Now, I picked up something, okay, on, what is it called? From the airport, so to say. And it is about this person who they said was coming back from, was it Singapore or something? And he was caught with heroin worth 3.1 billion. But when I was like, who kind of valued it? Who did the valuation? But Nigeria is a hub. Put it that way.
Continue.
Heroin láti Thailand. Heroin. Nigeria is battling with what you call the drug epidemic. Young people across Nigeria have been hooked on different kinds of drugs. Heroin is possibly the rich man's drug, so to say. But there are other drugs that they are now like dumping in that contraption every now and then that young people have now been hooked onto. Man, I mean, you have no idea how many of such lives have become so ruined in a country where you do not even have a good medical system for rehabilitation and all of that. So they won't finish everybody in that place. And for the ones caught, that's the ones caught, those ones that are like smuggled in into the country, different kind of drugs. The drugs we say when I grew up, when I was growing up, I've never heard them in my life. Today on social media, you actually have a catalog of some of these drugs from the northern Nigeria to the southern part of Nigeria, hooked onto by young people, the leaders of tomorrow. I don't know, maybe because I'm now getting old. You know, I think I'm getting old now. Director Scott, you know, like when you're getting old and you're like a father, you start feeling for the younger ones, like, is it that I am just becoming aware of things that have always been, things that have always been there? Because some will say, no be today now, I don't tell. I say, but when I was younger, we were never really exposed to this. Now, you have different kind of drugs. People have theory, you know that balloon? It's drug. Yeah, you see they'll share balloon at parties. Once they blow it and I'm talking about real, very strong drug that people will be like that. Johnson, you will see young people at bus stops, corner, everywhere, gone. Like that. I'm like, what did you smoke, man? Now you have a drug dealer, heroin trafficker as your president. You can't win. honestly speaking, I mean, you have to feel for this generation to some extent. Like, how are they going to win? They can't. It's like everything is just so rigged against you. The economy is bad. The system is bad. You have no real opportunity, and somehow at a young age, you are already dealing with a depression, frustration, and what you can easily get hooked on is drug, and with the belief that it's going to take you away from all your worries. But it doesn't take you away from your worries. It ruins you. It ruins families. Unfortunately. Well, anyway, there are those who still investing in education to some extent. One of them is this guy, Peter Obi, right? He lost an election, you say, even though some people like, no, he didn't lose the election, it was rigged. Fine. He lost being your president, but rather than him learning the lesson or crying as some people promised, the guys tend to kind of have so much money to really give around. And this money is, this money that is kind of sharing is using them to, spending them more on education. I saw where he gave them another 50 million today. Since the last time of this, since you had that your charade election, right? I've been following this guy. He has actually distributed over 1.5 billion naira. No joke. 1.5 billion naira to support education here, education there, like even like giving money for boreholes, the ones that the Ronokus love to criticize as well. So I saw him somewhere yesterday in this.
We are praying for the students when they are welcome, that God will be the blessing in their families and the blessing in the society. We are having this project, this university, over the God itself. We want God to use this university as a channel to bless our people. We want Him to transform our people through this university, starting from Onitsha to Anambra State to Nigeria at large, and then extending to many nations where the students will eventually travel or work. May it be so in Christ our Lord.
And you know why I'm showing you the video? I'll tell you. Somebody said the guy has the money to buy delegates. He actually has money to bribe the INEC. Why didn't he use the money to buy them instead of going about with, I know they give shishi, we know they give shishi, sort of. You know, that's what, like, well, because he did not steal the money. So probably he chose to spend the money on something more impactful than, I was like, okay. This is me just reading the comments of people. Like, people were like, so he has money. How come he's saying he won't give shishi, won't give shishi? If you want to play Nigeria politics, you must play it like them. That means probably he never really wanted to be your president or something like that. Nigerians, so you need to go and see, you know, if I give money now, Nigerians will probably be the accountants. Instead of giving that money, I can use that. You can use that money to, you know, see, Nigerians are very good. And now to help people spend their money, right? So he personally has so much money that he could actually buy the election to some extent, money for money. But I don't know. I'm not sure that it's probably got so much money, like stolen money. Imagine somebody who steals like 200 billion naira, and somebody who makes this legit 200 billion naira, you know, they won't spend it the same way. I don't think so, Sha. That's why, excuse me, that's why I shared that video, like, because Nigerians are like, so you get money? You get money? How come you don't use the money to? I was like, well, Papa, you probably will need to go and make some money too. And then you can go and compete with the likes of Akwabiole, Tinubu, and others, and see that not be everything be horror for horror, money for money, so to say. And I hope that the people of, you know, imagine this one is a former governor. This guy on your screen right now is a former governor. Is joining all of us now. I don't know if he's mocking us or if he's being sincere. George Akume is an ex-convict, I believe. You remember him? No, no, not George Akume. What's this guy's name again?
The same person that you sent on the street.
Suswan. Remember Suswan? He's a former governor of Benue State. Now he's joined. I don't know if he's mocking us or if he's been real. So he's talking about the hardship in Nigeria, how it's affecting him too, including the price of egg.
The same person that you sent on the street cannot afford to even move from one point to the other. Because you remove subsidy, transportation has gone up very high. So I think that the president should call a meeting of not just economists, because most time economists are talking theory. The practical thing on ground is that people cannot transport themselves to their offices, right? There's reduction in productivity in government. People cannot afford to feed their families. A crate of eggs that was less than 1,000 is 10,000 now. So it means that me and you cannot afford to eat egg in our houses.
Me and you, how? Me, maybe. You. I doubt that you cannot afford eggs. But I'm sure I ask questions for you.
That because I left government house almost 10 years.
You eat eggs like normal business.
Well, you know. Well,
the same person that...
Is it for real? Me and you cannot afford egg anymore. You and who? Me, yes, you. I said, well, I left government house 10 years ago, so yeah. I was like, shut up, man. Are you mocking us now or what? They are always there to advise. Like Rotif Miyamechi, who said, I don't know why people are not angry. I don't know why you are not on the street. Alaye, if you are a minister, you won't say that to us. You'll probably be telling us to also endure. The government is working, give them time. And all of that nonsense. I don't know if it's a mockery or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter, does it? So the people of Ibadan Ogbomoso Road, I'm joining my own prayer with your own prayer. Since they talk, so we should be praying for the criminals in Nigeria, that they will remember you on top of this road one day. Amen.
That'll be 3 weeks, right? Ọ̀nà yìí ti dín yẹn ọ̀nà tó express tó lọ Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ ni. Òun lélẹ̀. Bàbá ò lẹ́sà. Tọ́ ìgbà táwa náà tún wá dórí àlífà yìí nísìnyí àwa tó jẹ́ pé supporter bàbá wa Tinubu ni wá tá a ṣe wàhálà tá a campaign fún wọn. Ẹ wò láti bí 2 weeks lọ́nà yìí ti block. New express lọ́sẹ̀nsì ló ti block yẹn yóò wọnú Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ táwọn yẹn tún gba kọ̀rọ̀kọ̀rọ̀. Títí old road gẹ́gẹ́ náà ti block yẹn láti bí 3 weeks. Bàbá Tinubu sì ti lò 17 months báyìí lórí àlífà. Wọn ò rójútu rẹ̀. Wọ́n sì ń lọ ìlú òyìnbó káàkiri wọn lọ gbọ́lú dé ńbẹ̀. Ṣé báyé tí ọmọ Nàìjíríà ó ṣe rí nì, báyé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ṣe rí nì. Ẹ sì rántí pé pàdé sàárè yìí níjọ́ kan. Ẹ ní kówó lálìkí àmọ́ àwọn ò sì ní síyín mọ́. Àwọn ọmọ sọ fún yín bọ́lọ̀ ń bá ní ẹ gbọ́. Ẹ pàdé sàárè yìí níjọ́ kan. Ankorib ẹ pàdé níjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú ògọ́lọ́ ó dé tán báyìí. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Afa, thank you. Ṣé bí ayé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe rí rèé? Ṣé bọ́ ṣe sílẹ̀ Yorùbá rèé 17 months? But don't worry, we have reported to the Prime Minister of the UK. Yeah, Keir Starmer, we have reported to him. The Yoruba law.
Hello, General.
That's it?
Is that the General, yeah? General.
That's the General.
What is his name? Osha. General Osha. Can I ask you a question, General? So what's the letter entails today? What are you here for today?
We are here to come and talk to...
Yeah.
We are here to come and...
Yeah. I just got a question. Yeah, I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what is it? What are you here for today?
We're here under the self-determination right.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why we're being asked to do this under our leader is because the Yorubas are people that have been around for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Self-determination that we're asking for is so that we can exit Nigeria peacefully. So we're having a match today.
So you're part of Nigeria?
Yeah, we're part of Nigeria. The Yoruba that have been around with Nigeria for 13,000 years.
Yeah.
They want everybody to go back.
Steve, this is the leader. He's going over to hand over a letter. He probably will be going to the Prime Minister to hand over a letter, I think.
The city of London. The Yoruba nation closed down the city of London.
No going back. Anyway, it is awareness, so we kind of like it. All right. So well done to everyone indeed. It's just that some people were like trying to make it look like Tinubu, right? They said that Tinubu is using that to sort of put the North on an alert, right? That the North is, if the North fail to give him second term, they will just activate Igbo, and they will just declare Yoruba nation. Hey, I love to drink this Kool-Aid. Anyway, I'll leave it like that, okay? Because anything that will kind of give awareness to Yoruba nation and all of that, I am in for it, okay? So nothing, no more, no less. All right. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's share them up. We've seen other people who have done a lot elsewhere too, right? So let's share them up, okay?
and then don't let it really get into. I know some of you are like calling them names. Leave that out for now. Okay. Finally, right? And finally, truly, finally, this is from Akwabiole, who said, that video we saw yesterday. Yeah, that video where he said, wherever you see food, chop ammo. Your friends know they cook, everybody don't broke. But your enemy, they cook. You got to talk, say, you know, one chop your enemy food. Papa, now I'm going to finish you. He said, no. That wasn't for Nigerians. He was talking to the other members of the Senate, because there were other parties called for, you know, when he became the Senate president, he said they organized different parties for them. And different parties means food. So he wouldn't know which was which. That is why he told them that they could go anywhere and eat anywhere they see free food. But that was like last year. It wasn't this year. You know me, I can always give you what should be an update, okay, even though if it doesn't really matter anymore, right? This was the actual video.
There will be another dinner for the Senate President and the Deputy Senate President at 7:30 p.m. today. The venue will be at the Chopstick, Mississippi Ministers Hill, Maitama. So this announcement is from distinguished Senator Danduse Mohammed. Apparently, it is not being funded by the government, neither is it being funded by the National Assembly, and it is his initiative. So I urge members that times are difficult, and wherever you see free food, please endeavor to avail yourself. Thank you, distinguished Senator Danduse Mohammed.
It's still pretty much so close, because he was referring to the situation in the country. You know, things are difficult. Wherever you see free food, please endeavor to avail yourself and all that. You get that now? So on that note, we will wrap it up this evening, okay? And then open the line for everybody who might want to say one or two things, okay? Again, right? You know that the only place where people got shot when we were having these Yoruba Nation rallies, awareness rallies in Yoruba land, they had it in Oyo, they had it in Osun, they had it in Ondo, they had it in Ogun, they had it in Ekiti. The day they went to Lagos was the day that the police shot at the people and they killed 2 people. So now that Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, half of those you saw in that video, they are Ronukus, Abrodian Ronukus. And that is what makes mockery of all that show. But it's an awareness. So, you know, kind of like show the world that there is a country called Yoruba Nation, right? That's why I don't want to go hard on them. Okay, I don't want to. But the thing is that half of them are Ronukus who do not really believe that Yoruba Nation should stand now. It's only when non-Yoruba person become the president of Nigeria that they will actually want Yoruba to, you know. I say half, because there are other innocent people in that group, here you get now, who believes that what they are doing is legit. It is for the sake of Yoruba land. But they are not knowledgeable enough. And they are being manipulated, they are being taken advantage of by those chancers, those scroungers, opportunists, you call them. So we won't go hard on them, okay? You know, but it's just so shameful that it will be great if we can assemble enough of our people that can freely move on the streets of Yoruba land without being shot at. But the Tinubu APC Nigeria has criminalized self-determination, okay? Enough to give innuendos to what Igbo is really doing.
People have made up different stories. And I'm just going to let you enjoy whatever you've made up, okay? For now, at least, right? But it will make a lot of sense for people to know that we do not need rallies on the streets of London for Yoruba nation to emerge, right? But if we can get a lot of our Yorubas on the streets confidently without being harassed, arrested, or being shot at in Yoruba land, that would be massive. That will happen soon, by the way. Yeah, it will. Nigeria will make us or force us to do that soon, right? But we'll leave it like that, right? So I'm going to take calls. Of course, we'll take a break. So when we come back, right, we shall take calls. And then you can express yourself and say your mind. But if you have to go, remember, you need to like the broadcast. Like it, share it. Or pick up your phone and call in if you have one or two things to say. I'll see you soon. Good one. I just saw a comment. I want to reply to it. There are some of you so stupid to call what I do here sitting on the computer. Or you come here to come and listen to the person who sits on the computer every evening. I may sit on the computer, but I've actually really touched better lives in Yoruba land than some of you charlatans who also sit on your phones to come and comment in defense of chancers, opportunists to parade themselves as Yoruba nation, this or that. Mayegun and this platform has touched more Yoruba lives than any of those charlatans would ever be able to, including the lives of all those charlatans. So it is a shameless talk, right? To reduce what Mayegun does to sitting on the computer every evening. I have touched lives, children, elderly, the real Yorubas who are victims of that contraption than any of those charlatans would have. And there is evidence of that, like that. So you can get the hell out of here, okay? You shouldn't be listening to this guy who sits on the computer. Condemn who? Condemning opportunists and chancers. Well, maybe exposing them is the right word, not condemning them, because they don't even want any condemnation at all. Okay? So I have touched lives, the lives of those I probably would never meet, the lives of those I've never met, or I would never possibly meet. Because, right, I care for them more than those who are using you as a pure cash out from the criminal politicians in the name of Yoruba nation. I know them more than you, in case if you don't know, right? So you can vamoose. Stop listening to this guy that sits here every evening. You shouldn't be watching me, okay? You should possibly be joining them there, and then what do you do? Anyway, I'll come back. Don't go anywhere.
that is me back, you know, where they call me Mayegun General, right? And then one of the things that gives a substance to what I do is the fact that I believe that as a pro-Yoruba sovereignty myself, right? I kind of think we have gone beyond just this kind of a charade. You know, charade is when people want to be glorified, right? A lot of what I have been involved in includes caring for the vulnerable people in Yoruba land, children, elderly, the real victims of a failed country called Nigeria, by also taking that message of Yoruba liberation to them. It is a hard work to do. It doesn't require anybody to be praised. And I've never put myself in front of that, right? Claiming glory for something that should be a selfless work. So, and that's what I do. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of those that have been able to put together to also care for those who can really take care of themselves. The real people that should understand why this contraption cannot continue. Okay, so yeah, if I want any glory for some of these acts, right, I probably would have gotten a lot of it. I've told you many times, right? The people that are doing the real job, the grassroots mobilization and the rest of that, those who really wanted people helped, okay, they do not need all these crowns. They don't need all this, their work will do the talking. Hello there. Did I get that? Okay, I don't think so. Can you hear me?
Hello, my brother.
Oh, bless you. I thought I lost you again. Can you hear me?
I do, my brother. God bless you.
God bless you too, Baba. Good evening to you. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you for your good work.
Thank you, Baba. Thanks for joining
only
us.
I not come in time. I come enter when they talk about what happened for Libya. I don't really know what happened. I can't see this guy in Sowore there too. He may fly go Libya.
No, he go Accra. Go see one of the victims of the same lawless government, guys who have been standing up against their own government for protecting illegal miners in Ghana. So he was there. So we share the guys up, right?
Okay. But what me they really talk say, if they talk say hungry day for Nigeria, I know they believe say hungry day Nigeria because say most of say here where would they outside Nigeria? For us to enjoy this country, people sacrifice their life. There was a revolution. The king of Paris, Abina, king of France, was killed because of bread. People, you understand? But when they say hungry day Nigeria, I know they see the people, the reaction of the people. I don't know what thing they happen. And this Sowore will be my man. Me, I like the guy very, very. I like the guts where he gets. Right. Nobody they in back. The guy know what thing they try to do. Nobody they in back. They say hungry day. Nobody they enter street.
I know.
I don't understand which guy.
One man no fit do. Unfortunately, right? I don't know what or why his message is not resonating with, especially the young people.
Young people
mortgaged by these people. His message is not resonating with them. They would rather just waste their
and they say hungry day.
Unfortunately.
I they feel pain. They see people they talk say, and they see them for internet. Nobody they enter street.
No.
I they feel pain. They pay me as I not go lie for you, my. If not be this a program why they watch every day, they see what thing they happen.
Well, some people believe that it may be slow. The wheel. They say the wheel of revolution. They say it will be slow, but somehow it can be very, very grinding too. At a time, people will get to that critical mass. That time it will be like no going back of a thing. Oh yeah, we are all waiting for that.
But when
it will be like say it's too much now, or maybe not too much yet.
It's too much. It's too much. Okay, for this fuel go reach 2,000 naira, nobody go still do anything. No, so, and they tell you the truth.
Because if anybody tell me say Nigerians go to buy a fuel for 1,300 naira and there is nobody on the street, I go argue am a year ago.
I swear to God, who made heaven? I know if you believe her. Nobody on the street, nobody talk to him. I say this man jazz everybody. If you catch me, I don't go lie for you.
They say it's unfortunate anyway.
No, the division did too much. The division did too much. Nobody say it talk.
That too, you know.
My God, thank you for your good work. They try, they help me when they're here. They tell me what's in the happen for our country. Sometimes tears they run out of my eyes. I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, because the suffering that me, they even like I said before, me, I know they see Tinubu as president. Tinubu don't lose memory. Now those people behind, just like in wife. Now in wife, me, they say as president. Because the woman know everything about governance. You understand?
I do with you.
You just push the man, make he take that position, make she take in charge, but indirectly. You understand what they talk? I tell you the truth, man. Tinubu no day, you know, they don't lose memory completely.
If say lights, then on the light, but nobody day house. We shall see.
Yes, you understand me now. You understand. God bless you, my brother.
And you too. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you for everything.
Bless you too. Here, I have another caller. See, if you see me put this chain on, right, it's because I want to make them feel much like so angry and say, yeah, this is why they call me Mayogun. Anything I talk when I put this on right now, hey, Omo, be careful. I ain't shape for you. Hello there.
Hello.
Baba.
I want to tell a story.
Please.
I had a friend in Nigeria, or I have a friend in Nigeria. He got malaria. Okay, no problem. You know, malaria, normally you take your drug, maybe chloroquine. After a few days, you get better. Then he went to another clinic for support, and they told him he had typhoid and malaria, and that he needed to take injections. They said, okay, no problem. He paid for the injections, and they started injecting him. Then he went back to his main doctor, and his main doctor asked him, why is he taking injection? He said, because this clinic say, we have to take injections, and the doctor said he doesn't need to take injection.
Confusion.
So he went back to the clinic and then reported it to one of the people there. And the day after, everybody in that clinic started looking at him as if he did something bad to them. What they were doing is they gave him wrong diagnosis so that they can charge him for those injections. And because it is wrong diagnosis, they will not put it down in their books. The thing about injection is, even on your Botox, there are like 4 areas. If they inject it on the wrong part, even if they give you good injection, good drugs, you can buy. Right. Now, if they had injected him and he buy, nobody will be able to trace it back to them because it's not on their books.
Hi.
This means that this is not the first time that they are doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. And these people, if they buy somebody, you will never know. Mother clinic. So now, that is the kind of society that it is. I don't think these people can save themselves because people that are young, all they want to do is make money to jackpot, or whether it's by fraud, whether it's by luck, whether they pray to God and money magically appears, they just want to make money to jackpot. People are now going to banko, to get fake bank statements. For example, if you need 40 million in your account for the visa phase, they will help you put that 40 million. They will help you put fake bank statements as long as you give them 3% of what you need in your account as payment. That is what people are doing to jackpot now. You know? So the only people talking about ways to free themselves from the government, ways to protest, are the mad people that are walking on the streets. Even years ago, over a decade ago, I just faintly remember that the only people that used to talk about freedom, talk about revolution, are usually mad people on the streets, because they've tried to convince people and talk to people until they ran mad, because the people there, they don't have sense. They are very classes. If you carry placard and protest now, they will be looking at you like you are jobless or you cannot hustle. They will just be looking down on you. So this, you are saying you are surprised that people are not protesting about buying fuel. Let me tell you why. They are using it as a way to be classist. Me and my guys can afford fuel. You cannot, so you are a poor man.
Like I mean, who have time to go and be protesting? Or many
Yes,
people
now.
are like, yeah, you they protest too.
Go and hustle, John. You don't know how to hustle. That's why you cannot afford fuel. They will be looking down at you. You know how they used to do. They always look down on the poor because in their mind they think they can never get poor. So they are happy that the fuel price is going up because it separates them from the poor. It makes them feel like they are rich. That is why nobody is protesting. So they are doomed. They are really, really doomed. Somebody said yesterday they are looking for 70%. If you find 1%, Nigeria will be saved. Just 1% in that country. 0.05%. You don't need a lot. You just need few people to agree. But they are now using it to oppress people. They are using fuel price to oppress. You know, Nigerians like to punch down. They don't like to punch up. So like as government oppress me too, I'll use it to oppress you too. That is what they are doing. Very unfortunate.
I know, bro. Thank you very much. I mean, we'll keep saying it as it is, and eventually those who really need the message will get it. I know. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your work. Good night.
You. So it's similar to those who I have them all the time on Mayegun's diary political, by the way. Okay. There are those who have been watching Mayegun's diary political for a very long time. And in their mind, they are those we call the Ajebodos. You see, there are those who are living in Nigeria and there are those who are living outside Nigeria, okay? That somehow just feels like the only satisfaction they can get in life is probably to see others become miserable. You get those ones who live in Nigeria, for example. I have had them on my platform for a long time, but most of them have now become Olushi. When I say become Olushi, some of them can't even afford to watch me for 30 minutes anymore because they've waited and waited while they were waiting for something to happen to me so that they can be happy. I say, you remember that guy, that Mayegun, he's useless. If you see him now, he's like a madman. If you look at him now, his life is because that is a satisfaction to them because they can't imagine that a young man will be so vocal and appear so confident. Like he also appear like so untouchable. While they are living all their lives in fear, in misery, in such a way that, like, there are people like that. So when they have a chance of commenting on Mayegun's diary political, they are usually like, do you think you are better than others? Do you think you are better than us? Even though I haven't come here to say I am better than you or not, other than just pointing out the reason why a lot of us are going to end up miserable as long as these guys continue to hold on to power over us. That's what I do. Normally, nobody should be offended at me. Nobody should even get mad at me. But there are people who are, because you know what? They project their life and be like I said, there are others who live abroad too. They're like, how did he have so much time and he's still living better life? We live in this abroad too. It's not easy. We all know it's not easy. Every night, it's always here. And so these miserable people, they watch. Those ones abroad, they don't have to worry about data. But you see those ones in Nigeria, every day, right? The system continues to take from them, and they always project and be like, look at this guy. He appears so confident. He appears so untouchable. He seems to have a good life. Why don't you come back here and join us? Why don't you come back here and lead us? Because they would love to see me miserable. Unfortunately, you still have to continue watching me until you can't anymore. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Mayegun. Thank you for picking up my call. I really appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much for your patience, by the way. Go on, sir.
It's okay. So unfortunately, people actually don't know. Before we left that country, we actually set out some plan and just decided that we don't want to be in this country. And it's not our problem. It's not our fault.
We pursued it religiously. to wherever we are today, Baba. So you can no longer sit down there and be projecting your misery and all of that, your failure on us, so that you can be happy.
Our fault.
You get that?
It's not our fault. We actually got tired. Some of us, we've been tired like since when we're 9 years old.
You know,
we're like, man, if I have an opportunity, I've got to get out of this place. I can't wait. And unfortunately enough, we planned towards it, and as though we have it, we had what we want.
You know,
so some of them were too late to the party. It's unfortunate. It's not our problem. They were just late to the party. They can still work hard, and if they want to get out of that shithole, they should do all they can to come around. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We actually knew what we were doing. And that's the thing. That's the problem we still have. People. So a lot of people are not tired of what is going on in that country. A whole lot of people are not tired. And maybe it's when you get to that point where maybe they are really tired, maybe they will start seeing changes. That's not what I actually want to call, but I had to chip in because of, the way you were stressing the whole thing. I like, I need to say something about that. Yeah. Yep. So the other guy I just called before I called now, I think it's so unfortunate that people just come out here and start drying out the dirty laundry in the public, where he had to say something about they have to boost people, they have to boost an account to apply for visa and all of that. People really don't know what people do just to get out of that country, and it will be so unfair, and people just come online and come and start saying, "Oh, people just go and boost accounts and just no." You can't. You don't know what the Chinese do to come down to this country. You don't know what the Indians do to come
some of these Asian countries, what they are doing.
You don't want to know, because you really get to know
10% of that. You're right.
Come on, you should not. We should not do that. I'm not trying to scold him, but I'm a Nigerian, and I'm not going to let anybody stop other people from coming down to this country. We're not going to do that out of this platform. It's not going to happen.
Like that.
So if anything I have to do with you going out of that country, please do not come on this platform and come and start saying, "Oh, people know." Whatever it is they have to do to get out of that country, please let them do it. Please let them do it. Don't come here and come and start telling us they are boosting. No, do you know what the Americans do to get away, to just get around certain things? But they will not come out and start saying us. We don't have to come and just make a mess of ourselves thinking we just want to talk. It's so unfair. It doesn't make any sense.
I get you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to.
No, don't be. That's one thing about this place, right?
I'm so sorry.
You see, when people choose what to talk about, right? There are others also have the right of response as well. I just want people to do it respectfully. We can agree, we can disagree. That's what gives us this leverage here. You know that.
I'm so sorry. The person might feel offended, but please, let's be very careful.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. I
agree.
So another point I really want to make is, look, we have to understand the Northerners. I don't want to really start using the North as a whole. I'll probably might just say the political class in the North. They actually, I keep saying it. They have an agenda, and the agenda is they just want to control what we eat, control the energy resource. I'm talking about our petroleum now. This is what these guys are actually out to do. Because how will you have Dangote coming to situate his whatever is a refinery in the South? And let me tell you, I don't think anybody in the South probably will want to say he wants to open up his own refinery too. I don't think it's going to happen. Because this guy is going to monopolize it in such a way that you will not be free to want to do it. He's going to strangle the whole, every nook and cranny in way you could actually get the license that you want to actually set up your own refinery. And look at the food that is coming in. Every food that we eat now is even from the North. Why do we have to let this thing keep happening? We can't go to the farm. The whole farm is actually ridden with
because we have weak people in charge of, for example, Yoruba land or Southern Nigeria, man.
Yeah.
We have weak people.
The last time I was saying, the last time I called, I said, look, we need to, look, we are from the Yoruba part. Let's start taking on our own.
Baba, what is it going to take us to cultivate our tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of hectares of land?
What have we done wrong? What have we done wrong? Let's start taking on our own. Forget about, I'm not even concerned about the Northerners. Look, let's our own, these crazy people that are actually making a mess of our own country. I'm going to say it now, Yoruba country.
The
let's start taking on them. Because let us take on these people. If we start taking on them, they will start pressing.
She didn't wait till I talk with that, Baba. When I said, if we want Yoruba nation, right, we must take power away from these anti-Yoruba people.
whether they are traditional rulers
last week. You said
or
politicians.
politicians.
You were saying, look, we have to start putting people into power.
Pro-Yorubas, the real Yorubas in power.
That actually know these people that actually are in tune with what we want. Put them into power to go and tell them what we want. We don't want these crazy people from Tinubu cabinet. These people that he has been, I don't know how he's able to control all these people. We don't want those set of people. Another thing I want to say is, you see, this crazy thing that is going on between Igbo and Yoruba, so the winner is just the Hausas. We will keep fighting ourselves. We will be so stupid that the only person that is winning the war is the Hausa man, is the Fulani. So it's better we shield our sword and start facing what is. We have a common enemy. The common enemy is the North. The political, the elite is the North. These are we have one common enemy, and we have to face this. Telephone to me said the same. He said, look, if you're trying to do away with these Igbos, at the end of the day, you're just wasting your time because we all have one common enemy. If we don't face this one common enemy, we're all going nowhere. So this Yoruba, this bigotry that is going on, most especially is from the Yoruba side. I'm sorry to say.
We have to keep speaking out.
I don't know.
You know the reason why it's lasted, right? See, you know why it is this much pronounced? Is because the genuine Yorubas, they are like too reserved to speak out. And that's why these charlatans are the loudest. We need to wake the sleeping giant in us. The educated Yorubas, the enlightened Yorubas, the exposed Yorubas, to begin to, to denounce these criminals. They do not represent us. Tinubu and his gang, they do not represent Yoruba. So all of us keeping quiet because we do not want to be called Omoale. We must begin to speak out and speak up. If not, they will give us this tag. Yorubas are bigots. And yeah, it's already sticking, isn't it?
It's already sticking. It's already stick. Because it's so horrible that we just make ourselves so stupid and got ourselves into
we so quiet. We are too refined. I don't want to get into the gutter. I don't want to get into the dirty thing. You would have to eventually.
So another thing is, you see, another problem we have is, you see, we Yoruba Muslims, they have to know what they are doing. You see that they want to stick with the Northerners. They should know what they want to do. One, stick with your Northerners because of the stupid religion we are following. Because now they've brought in the religion in such a way that even the Yoruba Muslims can't think. If you're telling them, because I had an argument with a guy last week, was telling me, the Northerners, the way they reason is different from the way Yoruba people reason. Because he's a Muslim, he's a Yoruba Muslim. Now you want to now start equating us with the Northerners. I said, what are you talking about now?
I know.
We have our culture. What happened to me? I said, look, I'm a Christian. I used to be a Muslim, I became a Christian. Look, I hold my culture dear than even my religion. Let me tell you.
And there's nothing wrong in that. I don't know why we are so ashamed of who we are. Even though we are choosing a path that we respect so much, right? That shouldn't make us discard who we are in such a way that...
I said, do you know what these white people, do you know what they went through back in the dark ages? These people were sacrificing people. Remove their hearts and sacrifice it to some God. So don't think they're doing anything special. Or maybe we have gone through, our forefathers have actually gone through some crazy things. These people have gone through, they've gone through worse than we was our forefathers. But gradually we actually will graduate out of those things. And it's gonna happen. Thank you for your time.
God bless you, man. Thank you very much. I love people who can rant in such a way that they let it out. Yeah. Sometimes a lot of people want to be so civil. I like civil people too. Oh, Baba, you can mix both. Be civil and let out your rant in such a way, in such a coordinated way that it makes you human and not a robot, a programmed robot. I want to speak like a gentleman. I'm not a gentleman. Come on. Typical, a typical Yoruba man is not a gentleman. Yeah, we say he's a Moluabi. Hey, it's not 100% that way too, by the way. Hello.
Hello, my good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very well.
Honestly, getting you online is like war.
And sometimes when people got in to leave 7 at war, you have to say,
my goodness.
Thank you very much before they finally say, okay, yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's good to have you, though.
Yes, I was really pissed this evening. But the other man has treated the issue.
Right.
please, let's be careful on what we say online. He has said it. The thing got me so pissed off. How can this man mention this at this point?
Just like
when everybody is trying to survive out of that place. Oga, please, tune it down.
You know?
God.
Sometimes, you know, we can't be pretending to be saintly than the Pope in this regard. You know, there are some certain things that we just have to keep off it too. I agree. I do.
That's by the way. I agree with what the last caller said about trying to you know, infiltrate everywhere. The Northerners, the Northern politicians, because I won't classify it as the Northerners.
Blanket statement on everyone.
You understand me? It's the Northern politicians because I don't see why they will be enjoying why their people are suffering the most. So I begin to ask myself, you know, Obi Ezekwesili was once solid mineral, minister for solid mineral.
She was.
So I don't know whether that department, that sector is still in place. Because if you watch, after Obi, there has never been anyone I've heard of, Sister Obi,
well,
as a minister for solid mineral.
After her, okay?
After her.
Yeah,
and it has
the
been
first
silent
one,
for a very
the first
long
one was
time
the
now.
former governor of Ekiti.
Okay.
Then the one that is holding the position right now is no other person than Dele Alakori, who chooses, instead of being a minister of information, he chooses that, and we know why. Because right now, the Ministry of Solid Minerals is no longer about Nigeria; it's about the deal of illegal
God
mining.
bless you.
You know, pocketing everything that has to do with it now.
Exactly. And it looks as if they just sealed our mouth. Nobody is talking about it.
Yeah.
They are mining it, embezzling the money from that part of the country. Why they are having that, they are still interested in the one in the West. And nobody seems to be talking about it.
I know.
Everybody just kept quiet and kept mute about it. The money they make out of solid mineral in that country
is more than what they are making from crude oil.
More than you can ever imagine. Now, I just want to throw this slide because he mentioned that was I remember. I just want to. Now, there's something you were saying about Sowore. Sowore, what his way of handling things is not resonate with the youth because he had an opportunity to correct a lot of things in last election, but he did not. Now the Carlo say that anybody is against Nigeria, that is against Nigerian government is his friend. Once you are against Nigerian government, you are his friend, so long as you are not for them. But Sowore had the opportunity to mind his business, pursue his political career, and focus on what he's doing to draw more attention to himself. Rather, he left people that he was supposed to be attacking and was attacking P2B.
I know.
And then, you know, during that period, P2B already have everybody in mind. Everybody already had P2B in mind. And you came out, instead of you to just respect yourself, focus on what you came for. You left the thieves, the criminals, and you're attacking the 1% that is even better than the criminals. So it doesn't make sense to people.
That really did settle down well with a lot of people.
You understand me? That was an opportunity that I felt he missed.
I know.
You understand my point? So instead of you to calm down and fight together, even if you're not coming in as a party, you mind your business, he minds his business, you fight your own, he fights his own, and you at the end of the day, you achieve whatever you want to achieve. But rather, he was mentioning the P2B every day. P2B every day. How can you fight somebody that the youth is already behind?
You get somebody that has already commanded a sizable number of young people.
They are not saying that you might be a stooge. They might see you as a stooge because I can't hear you. That's the problem with me. I can't hear you.
I'll let you finish, but continue. You are making a very valid point, ma'am. Continue.
They might see you as a stooge because you have witnessed a lot of people that were stooge before this time. We witnessed Kayamu, he was a stooge. There was a time Kayamu was like that, fighting for the innocent. There was a time Adan Somoshomole was like that. Who has fought more than Adan Somoshomole in Nigeria? There was a time he was like that. a lot of them that was like that, but they entered and changed. This same Tinubu himself that is a boy that was, he was still in 19, I remember him in 1993 during Abiola time. Are you getting my point?
I am with
so
you.
We've seen a lot of change. We've seen, even this last election, we saw a lot of them in Labour Party. We saw how they switched over immediately. So, and the person in question has been working with Sowore when he was against Jonathan. Now, instead of you to use this time to stand your ground, criticize Tinubu, criticize others, you were fighting against another person that was still fighting the same cause you're fighting. So that was where you missed it. So it's easily for people not to, relate with what you're saying. Because this guy has proofs everywhere. But I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to tell people that this guy is still one of them. He's still one of them. But there's the way you be fighting someone that is innocent, you get yourself roped in inside. So that was what happened to Sowore. And that's of there's something that keep on happening here that I want to talk about. I just want to talk about it.
Go ahead,
see,
please.
we keep on saying we are not in the country. We keep on saying they should get up and fight. They should go out there. When we were there, how many times did we get up and fight? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well, maybe because it wasn't this really bad.
Nigeria of 20 years ago is not Nigeria of today.
Right.
We had a government that was still scared of United Nations then. We had a government that was scared of United Nations then. Today, the government we have today, they are not even scared of United Nations. Anyhow, if you come out, they shoot you anyhow. If you watch your neighbor lose her child yesterday and nothing was done, the child went just like that. It is difficult. It takes a lot of courage. Let's be realistic. If I am in America, if we feel we are so courageous, why don't we go back and start too? It's not easy. So when we are trying to be hard on them, we should consider some certain things too. Because honestly, if I have a son in Nigeria, it would be difficult for me to say, look, don't go out there. I don't know who will come out. Let's just put ourselves in their shoes. It's just that most time we don't learn until we come out of this country to understand the in-depth of what this government has done to us. Because we are not here in these countries and we are seeing what is happening in this country, how they get it as easy as anything. That's why we are now worried. They too will not understand most of them until they move out of that circle called Nigeria. Okay, the middle class that's understood these things are part of those people that are being corrupt. The ordinary man in Nigeria does not understand what we are talking about. The youths of today, they are not ready to fight. Most of them are, because most of them, they don't live on the government. Most of them that they are working remote jobs. They've bought their properties. So they don't even want to hear that somebody will come and destroy the property that they didn't get from the government. A lot of them are paid in dollars. Those youths that we're talking, they are skit makers.
I know.
They are YouTubers. Are you getting my point?
I am with
so
you.
So when you are saying all this, they are not getting it.
There are some factors we should always consider. I agree. I do.
You understand me? But the one that is selling fish in the market does not understand what you're talking about. Does not understand that if you come to a developed country, you can get a laptop for free. Does not understand that your children can go to school for free. Healthcare and everything. He or he doesn't understand that. And he or she is not ready to go out in the street. So it takes a lot of courage and the grace of God for something to be triggered.
To that point.
To trigger to move into the
Thank you so much. I know you could
can
barely hear me though, right? But you've made so much valid points. And I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much. And you have a good evening, ma'am. Okay? Thank you so much. Here is another caller, but I'm going to ask you to wait for me for a second. And I hope you can hear me. By the way, my caller, indeed. So I'm gonna what's this? I do not know why. I want to be sure that what do you call it? My voice is out there. So if you can hear me, let me know. So I have a caller. Hello there.
Yeah, one more. I can hear you loud and clear.
Osita.
I can hear you loud and clear from the temple of peace.
How are you, Baba?
Yeah, we thank God. We bless God.
Bless you too, man. Thank you so much, please.
I will always bless God for my life and your life.
Amen.
Thank you. Nothing, no weapon fashioned against you will ever prosper.
Amen. And you too. Amen.
They will try and try and try, and they will fail and fail and fail.
As many times as possible. Amen. Thank you so much.
You have been the mouthpiece of God. Either anybody likes it or not. You've always been the mouthpiece.
As they say, the voice of man, the voice of God is the voice of man. The voice of man is the voice of God, as it should be. God bless you, Osita. Thank you very much.
Yes. So sometimes it gets so funny that people will come here. I don't want to hammer much on it, and people will just spread out their, I won't say dirty linen, but you just spread out your clothes in the sun for everybody to see if it is tapered or not.
Yeah, I agree.
So, there are some things that are unnecessary. There are some things. That's the reason most of the times when we come here, we come here to learn.
That's right.
Because if we don't learn, we can never be correct. So we should really try.
There is nobody that is above learning. I learn every day myself, and I say, I will never present myself as somebody who knows it all, because I've got a lot to learn too. That's why I share what I know, and I listen to others to share theirs.
Because as it is all over the world, but especially in Nigeria, people need survival. So if you see that that route of survival, please don't make mess of it and start coming to talk about things that you did or what other people did to attain that success. Please let us be very, very careful of what we say in the public space. Thank you very much. So as regards to what is happening, like one of the callers said, that if there's anybody who is winning the war, that the Northerners are winning the war. It's not just that the Northerners are winning the war. There are some Igbo, as an Igbo man I am, there are some Igbos who are in bed with these people.
As well.
So we will not just limit it to the Northerners. So the way they call themselves elite, because they didn't earn it, they forced themselves to be called themselves elite. These ones, they are in bed with each other. They are the one that is enjoying everything that is happening. Like when you come to my state in Imo State, the whole issue of unknown gunmen and gun no man, all those things, it is working against the ordinary man, but the government, those that are in power there, are the one eating the whole money. They would decide not to do anything.
That way. Exactly.
Yeah. They might want not to do nothing, and they won't do anything, and they will tell you that we use this money in buying guns for the security people who are securing the state.
To justify hundreds of millions of naira they deducted for every month, right?
Every month.
How do you want them to justify it?
Yeah, so for security votes. So at the end of the day, it is not just that the Northerners are, because when you look at it and say the Northerners are enjoying, then when you go to the North, they are the ones that are suffering the more, either we like it or not, because the basic things of life is being denied to the people because they don't have education at all. Either indirectly or directly, they lack education.
I mean, put it this way, Osita, they have the highest number of out of school children. They have the highest number of the internally displaced persons. And the number goes on and on and on.
So it's not as if they are enjoying it, but the truth is that it's the political class, the so-called elite, they are the ones that are enjoying what is happening in Nigeria today. So let us be frank and candid with what we are seeing. I keep saying it. There was a time in my life too. At a point in time in my life, if I hear the name Nigeria, I get excited that, people respect us wherever we go. They will say, Nigeria. But the reality, anybody that respects us for being called Nigerian, that person doesn't know what is going on with us, or that person is making mockery of us. So, as it is right now, it is not a war for Sowore. It is not a war for P2B. It is not a war for Dele Farotimi, whoever, it's not a war for Nnamdi Kanu. But this thing is a war for us. All of us will have a role to play. It is not because of we live abroad. If I used to tell people that if you don't really care and you said, oh, the people back home should take care of it, you won't be on this platform. Trust me, my brother.
No.
You see this, your platform will not move forward because the reason we are here is because of a particular condition that we are facing. It's because of the rot that Nigeria is facing. Because as it is, if I tell you how many of my friends I have lost, because sometimes they will call me, I won't pick my call because I know it's all about give me. Can I give everybody?
No,
I won't be able to give everybody. It's not possible. So that is something we need to understand, that all of us, all hands must be on deck. All of us will have to sit down and play our individual roles to become collective efforts in order to make sure that something is done.
That reminds me of what I actually wanted to add earlier. To make people understand that, you see, the difference between this platform and so many others you see online on social media is the fact that we are not just talking about the problems here. We are doing our own little, okay, to see if we can actually make a difference and a change, right? I remember that it was on this platform that I have managed to get my friends there are called the Templars, to raise funds to support, children in my own constituency, my own Yoruba land. You remember? We are today, right? We have more than 10 children adopted by people who just came here to listen to Mayegun today. They've adopted children who they are paying their school fees, their welfare. On this platform, we've saved lives of people that may never be able to even thank us per se. We've operated on people who are almost like lost their lives on this same platform, and people were just here to listen, Abi, but they ended up getting involved in something more human, more bigger than what every other person will say. Is a YouTuber and all of that. So you get it is that we are human in the sense that we are not just talking about the problems or exposing the problems in our own little way. Collectively, we are actually touching lives of those that would have been something else if not for us. So if somebody comes up to Mayegun's diary political and say, all you do is just talk, that's so insulting. Sometimes that, I probably should begin to sing my praises now and sing the praises of my friends here. That is not just talking about the problems, right? It's not because we are victims of the problems. I am not a victim of Nigeria. Whatever happens in that place, I'm not a victim. But guess what? There are those who come on this platform and they go to bed every night worried about people they don't even know, people they will never meet. Yeah? And their own hard-earned money is going into supporting some of these people out there. Talking about taking it beyond just talking, Baba.
Yeah, this is the reason I'll always, anytime I come online, the first thing I tell you, I'll always tell you, God bless you for what you are doing. Amen. Because you've been able to disciple the hearts of men, to reconcile men to each other, for us to know whatever affects the eyes affects the nose. So to make sure that another person's happiness will be your happiness, and another person's sorrow, you will have to be a part of that sorrow too. So when we are looking at it, I just want all of us to understand that we are here. It's not enough that we just say, we leave them, let them die until they. No, it doesn't work that way. Because if you say leave them, let them die, you won't have come to this program to come and contribute one or two things.
No,
you won't. So I know
it's about YouTube, this Facebook, that social media, this. Then you probably either you are new or you are just somebody who has a real retarded whatever it is we'll call it. Lives have been touched, lives have been changed, people have been given hope, and some of them they are not even on social media. Many of them are not even here.
And let us be frank. Let's be frank and candid with each other. I want people to understand that there's some people who are actually sent to come to your program in order to cause a lot of chaos and confusion.
I know.
So those people might with some of them here even might even see some of them to be saints to us, but behind that is not their real motive of coming here. And that's the reason I used to tell amongst ourselves, when somebody did not abuse whatever we stay here, but you have to learn how to make a constructive argument even when you do not accept what that person is saying. Because either you like it or not, these same people that we are talking about, they are watching this program. They pay people to watch this program and report back to them how they are doing in this. I'm telling you the gospel truth. If they want to know how Nigerians are reacting, they won't go to somebody who is biased. They will go to the page of that one that is not biased. And that one of that few people is you, because you've always stand by the truth. You don't even care what anybody thinks. And the way you analyze it, believe me, you might be against my opinion today. But at the long run, I will now find out that, oh, this is not what you have in mind. You are just being put.
Thank you so much,
people need to understand that. Please, we have to really be our brother's keeper as at this time. If we know we really want to escape, I won't lie to you. I will not be in America for so long. I will never be. A time will come now, I will start thinking of, oh, I have
to go back. Exactly. But where are we going back to? To that place they are messed up?
So if we cannot start now to think about that tomorrow, that we might not, there might be no need for us being here anymore. We won't be able to impact any positive change back home. So it is our fight. It is not individual.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much, Osita. You have a good evening, okay? As usual. Yeah. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming close to the end of the program. Even though I know that I have used part of the time we normally have to take in calls and all that, it was because of the nuisance who possibly was here to fight for personalities or for individual out there that they probably, drag me for an extra minute. But listen to this. I will be taking the last call, or maybe second to the last call in a minute, right? If you haven't really liked this broadcast, it would be ideal to do so now, okay? Because after this, that may be us. But if you have already done it, don't do it again. Just once, it's okay. One, it's okay, okay? So thank you so much. And if you haven't really shared this as well, please do share the broadcast as well. The time is almost done, okay? But let me take this. Hello there.
My king.
The prince. Prince Adebayo. That's you, right?
Yes,
Prince
my king.
How are you this evening, sir?
I'm good, sir. I insisted on coming on the platform because I wanted to pour out some education to the people so that they understand what is happening in Nigeria.
Please go ahead.
You played a video about the gold mining in some parts of Nigeria. In fact, there were gold mining in Ghana and in several other countries.
See, Nigeria, especially in the western part of Ghana. I mean, it's really mental.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to come in to educate Nigerians so that they understand what is going on. What we are facing is not just peculiar to us. There are some other countries. In fact, so many other countries are going to face it. And it ties down to what's happening in Libya. Why Libya has not been able to unite and form government, a proper government that, there's so many ungoverned areas. You see, what happened in 1944, after the World War, when United States became the world superpower, majority of, in fact, all other countries were subjected to this. We had an agreement called the Bretton Woods Agreement, where the world reserve was in dollars, So that since that time, dollar was the world standard. It left. Gold used to be the world. It used to be the gold standard, but it now went to the dollar standard. The whole world now put their reserves on dollars. Guess what is happening today?
Wow.
There's a recalibration taking place. In this recalibration means that a lot of countries, after they saw what the United States did to Russia, seized their money and everything because of this war. And the United States is fond of using their power in the United Nations to sanction countries. Then a lot of countries started becoming afraid. They started pulling out from the dollar standard. You understand? They now started buying gold. A lot of central banks in the world, they are rushing to buy gold now. And this now brings us to what's happening in countries like Nigeria and Ghana. It is the world that is buying gold. So the mercenaries will do anything to chase out people sitting on gold. People who are in the village in Zamfara who don't know anything. And people who know the worth of what's under their ground are watching. They are watching you from the moon. They know what you have. They only need to make a deal with your governor. They will find any means to remove you, to get that gold. Because the world's central banks, they are piling up money to pick that gold because their money, this dollar is crashing with full force. So they need to rush and save their money in gold. That's why countries like Nigeria that are not homogeneous, the government does not care about the people. If it was, say, Nigeria was just one ethnic group, the leader would say, lie, I will never let this happen.
Like the Chinese.
Exactly. But Nigeria is a fertile ground because we are 360 something ethnic groups. And if the gold is in another man's ethnic group, the president doesn't give a hoot. You say enter there. And that is why you see that there's a lot of IDPs in a country that's supposed to be peaceful. Yes. A country that's supposed to be peaceful. The money is there waiting. Just bring the gold. Different countries that are waiting. See these BRICS now. Austria, or is it Australia, just pulled out from United Nations and joined out. There's a country that just pulled out of the United Nations or something like that and joined BRICS. There's a new country that just joined BRICS anyway. I think it's Australia or Austria. These are countries that are trying to put
their info on that.
Yeah. These are countries trying to save their reserve because the dollar is hit. The United States has reached, in every century or after a couple of centuries, the world powers fall down.
It does.
Yeah, there's a shift. Yes, there's a shift. Saudi Arabia has stopped using the dollar standard. Russia since this war. Yes. Russia since this war, they've gone back to rubles. China, the same thing. Everybody's now trading in their local currencies. Dollar is fast falling. The trade in dollar, the trade that used to go on with dollar has slashed to half and is fast falling. Every other country, they don't know what to do. They want to save at least gold is the only thing that cannot crash because it is sustainable. It retains its price, even increase in value. Yes. So the world money is piled up, waiting for that gold from Zamfara to save it in their central banks. That is why you are seeing what's happening in Nigeria cannot stop. Forget all these things. As long as some governors are selling out their people, they don't care. That's why they are doing this thing. The money cannot enter Federal Reserve of Nigeria. How much are we making from gold?
Nobody.
These people don't care.
Of it. But the amount of gold they are actually drilling everywhere as well, God knows, man.
Yes. The president is from which ethnic group? The governor is from another ethnic group. The people in charge of this gold are from which country? So nobody loves anybody there.
So we are done for. That's the point.
We are the fertile ground for this kind of thing. And as I'm saying it, if we want to go and take this country back, better prepare the leader, the constitution, and all the positions. Because if you go after destabilizing Nigeria and you don't get it right, what it thought they will just enter. They'll just say they are coming to make peace. If they enter here, if they enter Nigeria,
they are not living.
Everywhere there is natural resources will be taken over.
I've been now because they will say for your protection, you need to give us this.
That is why you are seeing. That is why you are seeing prolonged war in some places. It's not because the war cannot be settled. They are prolonging it because they need to take out all the resources in certain areas. They are prolonging it and they are mining. In Congo, there's everlasting war. Their plane is still removing cobalt and coltan every day. Plane is flying out of Congo every day. So if we want to balance
all this terrorism that is not ending, they are
that's not ending
and mining whatever they can mine from that place, and they are taking them out.
And there's a ready market. There's a lady that called. She said in those days the corruption was not this much because Nigerians used to fear United Nations. It is actually the other way around. In those days, United Nations actually did its job. Today, United Nations is full of corrupt countries who want to take over other countries' resources. And chief of those countries is United States with their military base everywhere. What are they going to put military base everywhere? If your country is in crisis, you are done for.
Thank you so much.
So, let everybody know.
Right? Thank you so much.
So we can know how to move.
Yes. Another day.
Yeah.
You have a good one. Thank you very much. See, our time is far gone and far spent. We've shared what we think we can share tonight. And if you have learned one or two things from what everyone has said, great. Okay. Just make sure you share this with others that should possibly get to see this too. Yeah, tomorrow is another day, and I will see you again. Until then, take it easy. Stay safe. And good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní súnra kì. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayé súnra kì. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé súnra kì. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Ayé súnra kì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ayé súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.